Hey gang, I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on with the trying to get everything out to Twitch today, so I'll do a little video instead, and then I'll get this posted. You guys are watching it recorded. This is not live. This is different. That's okay. So we're part 3 here of our second look at classes and objects, and we got a couple more interesting pieces to take a look at here. So get these closed out, and I'll start up a new project. Will be chapter 8, part 3. Oh, that's in the wrong folder. That's okay. That can get moved. That can get moved. Let me go put it in the right folder here. Or, you know what? I'll just close it. I didn't do anything yet. Let's make sure it's in the right folder. 2151. There we go. Chapter 8, part 3. That's happier. All right, so we've been talking about classes and how we use classes and objects in our code. So a couple things to note. Classes can have other classes as variables. So if we go and make a new class here, let's say this one, you know what, no, we had, let me open up last project. I think we've got it all out there. This is good. GitHub 2151. Oh, no, I can't even type, so that's not even the right place anyway. I added too many things. So chapter 8, I think we're all doing it here in part 1. There we go, I'll just close that. Not copy, close. The other C word. Discard. Okay, here we go. So we made this silly stonks class. We were having fun talking about that. So this is a class here, and what we can do is we can add another class. Maybe we'll call this a portfolio. And a portfolio can have a bunch of stocks inside of it. So I might have a private. I like array lists. So let's do array list of type stonks. And it says, oh, I don't know what an array list is. That's okay. We'll go and import that. So this is just letting us have multiple of these here. So then we're going to check. Oops. Sorry, I got to turn that off. We need a way to get some of these values, right? So we're going to add a constructor. So our public portfolio. Remember, the constructor's job is to set variables. Did I spell it wrong? Oh, parentheses. Man, I'm just not with it today. So it's just been one of those days. So we need to make sure this stonks here, that's pretty lowercase. There we go. Equals a new array list. So we're creating this object, right, of type stonks. So it creates it, gives it a value. Array list got to be converted to array list. No S. Okay. It's just not my day today, folks. Anyway, so there's our stocks here in a array list. Now what we want to do is we want to maybe have a, I don't know, get stonk out. And to get it out, what we need to do is we need to give it, we probably need the symbol. Right, so we can go look these up by symbol. So we're going to loop through. So we'll say for stonk. In. Let's loop through using one of these enhanced for loops. Again, same way as using, we can loop by index as well, but this is nice and easy and good for read-only access here. And we can check if the dot symbol, get symbol dot equals, and probably ignore case, right? Equals ignore case. Oh, you know what? We did have the equals method here, right? We wrote an equals that'll check the symbol and the value for us. But in this case, we just want to know, hey, do we have this symbol here? So we don't want to use that equals method, because all we're doing is, hey, did I have this one here in my portfolio? And I'm going to give you back that version here. So I'm only caring about the symbol here. Equals the symbol. So we don't want to compare stock to stock, because they don't have to give me a stock here. They just have to give me the symbol. And if it is, we're going to return that stock. Okay? And if we didn't find it, now here's the interesting piece, because we're using this class here, right? So if I don't have one, I'm going to return the special thing called null. And null is really ugly. So this means null is not an object. Remember when we get those null pointer exceptions and our programs crash and things? If we don't have one, we just give them back a special nothing, right? Null is just, oh, nope, doesn't exist in our portfolio. Right, and then we need a way to add. So we'll take a, I don't know, void add stonk. Now this one we probably need the whole thing, right? Because you need an instance to add to my array list. Let's shrink this down a little, sorry. So I'm going to take my stonks array list. I'm going to call add, and I'll add that stock to it. That's it. And I can get it back out, and I can add it. I guess we could also have a remove, right? You give me one to remove, I'll try and remove it. Nope, start. Remove. Why is it not giving me that? Remove that one. We'll try and remove that one. Okay, so we can add, we can remove, and we can just get the value back out. And then maybe one last one for fun. Maybe we want a double get total value. So if you are watching your GameStop stock today, you have noticed the value has been crashing pretty hard. And when you get total value, you're going to feel sad if that was the only thing you, I'm not even going to say invested, because that's not what was happening right there. That's the only thing you gambled on, right? So we'll have a get total value. So we'll have a double first total. We're going to start off at 0. Right? And then again, we're going to loop through for each stock. So we could do this loop for stock in stocks like this, or we could use an index. So I'll say index is 0, index is less than stocks dot size with an array list, index plus plus. And then we're going to loop through. We're going to take total value, and we're going to add to it my stocks dot oh my goodness. Get, there we go. Get the index. It's get in this language, it's at in another, and I always get confused. So get dot get value. Okay, so we'll get the value out. And we'll just keep on adding that, and we're done. We'll return total value. That'll be the total value of the portfolio. So this whole illustration is to show that stocks, or one class can have another class as an attribute. That's a special relationship. We've talked about inheritance before, where one class is a type of the parent class. We don't have that. What we have here is we have one class has a bunch of these other objects. And it could just be 1 or 2 or 3, but this is nice because it's flexible here, right? So it doesn't have to be specifically an array list. It could be whatever. We could add a bank account too, right? We could say, hey, my portfolio might have a bank account because maybe I have, savings that are not invested in the market or gambled in the market, right? Thankfully, the bank accounts are FDIC insured, right, to $250,000. So you'll be okay. Right? They're not going to lose value, at least. That's pretty good. All right, we've got that, and let's go and do something with it then, right? Let's see. Yeah, we did some more copies, equal. Okay, so let's add a bunch to our portfolio then, right? So the price here on GameStop stock is way down. Let's see what it is right now. Come on. There we go, 92 currently. Okay, so we'll do 92.44. 92. That's a bit of a dip there from 297, right? That's what happens when you gamble, folks. So then we're going to check, or let's add those to our portfolio here. Go down a few more lines, so we'll make a new portfolio. This is my portfolio equals a new portfolio. Okay, and then we want to go and add a stock to it. So we'll take our portfolio, we want to add a stock to it. Let's add GameStop. Right. We'll add that one. Then, how about we add another one? Let's make another stock here. Let's do, what was another popular one? I think everyone was talking about AMC, right? Let's see, can we find the price of AMC? We can find the price of AMC. Let's see. Let's see. Come on. Yep, 675. All right, so AMC equals a new stock. This one is AMC at 675. Again, taking a big hit there. If you invested at the peak, invested, still a terrible word if you gambled at the peak. And then we'll add that one. Okay. Then we want to see if we have some stocks. So here's, remember we used the null thing. Right, we want to say, so I'll have a stock, we'll call this one, what's the other thing people were investing in? Should really remember some of these things. I don't know, how about Tesla, just for fun? This will be our Tesla stock. And then we're going to ask our portfolio for it. We're going to say get stock out, give it a symbol. Let's say, hey, give me the Tesla, right? TSLA, I think? I think they were doing well today, weren't they? TSLA. I think it's stock. TSLA, I think is what it was. There we go. Yep. So, oh, yeah, hopefully we're in Tesla because they're up 4% today. Sure. I mean, this is all nonsensical. Like, the valuation here on Tesla just went nuts. I'm sure they're selling things, but the market thing is hard. So we're going to do this, but we know we don't have a Tesla stock in here. So what we need to do before we go use it now, we need to check if Tesla does not equal null, then I can go do something with it. Because Java's not going to know, so I can still call get value, get symbol. I can do all these things with it, right? You might say, hey, you owned Tesla, or sure, if you owned it, would be worth, you get the value. But because we're going to get back null, this won't run. So if we don't have this check here, let's do that. Let's ignore this check for a minute. Right, and we get these null reference exceptions, null pointer exceptions. Those are terrible. We hate those. So no one likes when their program crashes. Oh no! Exception in thread main. Java lang null pointer exception. Cannot invoke stonk.getValue because Tesla is null. Right, so you gotta be careful here. We need to check to make sure if it's possible for us to get back null, we need to be able to handle that. So think about that and else. You don't have in your portfolio. Okay, and then just to make sure the other methods work here, let's say your total portfolio value, portfolio dot get total value. Okay, I'll throw a $sign in there too, right? We'll make this look pretty. There we go. So 99.19 should be 6.75 plus 92.44. That sounds right. Pretty sure that arithmetic's good. So I would pause now and ask how you're feeling, but I forgot we're not live. So, yes. One thing you do want to be careful with, and I didn't do this very well here, but I know stock here is essentially a read-only value. Like you set this once and there's no public methods for setting and changing it. Because otherwise, giving someone your instance of stock here from your portfolio would give them full access to go and change it if it had methods to let you change it. So when you have a private data element and you're going to return something, if you return that private data, someone has full access to it. So you need to be careful that you're not breaking that encapsulation. And that's why things like this copy constructor is really handy, because you could make a copy of the stock if you wanted. So we should probably do that to set a good example here. I know it's not going to matter right now, but it's probably best to set that example here. So let me put a note here. So we know doc has no methods for changing values, but a good practice. And you know, this also does depend on you want to be able to change your values. You know, most of the time you don't want them to change values. So if you want to be able to modify things, typically you would give them public methods like adding a stock, removing a stock, or might even have like changing a value or something we might be able to put inside of here ourselves. But you know, maybe there's a case for we want someone else to be able to modify the value. But typically that breaks encapsulation. The idea that, hey, I'm in control. My class is going to manage all of these attributes, all these values here. And the only way you're going to get at them is through your public methods. Because as soon as I return one of those values through a public method, I don't have control over it anymore. So we want to make a copy. It can't be, so what, our version can't be changed outside of our public methods. There, that's a good sentence there. So instead of returning stock here, we're going to return a new stock using that copy constructor. Constructor creates a new instance in memory to give to the caller. And the caller is whoever calls the getStock method here. I can't ask if that makes sense. Man, I'm really out of it, folks. Maybe I need some more coffee. Okay, we've done this. So we've used this before in our class when we said, okay, like this dot symbol and this dot value. Now another cool thing here, let me show you. Let's say we wanted to update stock here to show like how much of these we have. So let's add a double for quantity owned here. So I'm going to say, okay, I've got a quantity owned. You know, do I own one of these, two of these, half of these, fractional shares, whatever we want here. And what I want to do is I'm going to assume quantity owned is 1 in this constructor. So if you don't tell me, I'm going to assume it's 1. And then what I can do is I can write another constructor. Symbol, double for value, and double for quantity. And now, you know, I'm a lazy person, and anytime you have copy-pasted code, quantity owned is the, oops, it should be quantity owned. Anytime you have to like copy-paste your code, you feel bad about yourself, right? That's a pretty good rule of thumb. So instead of doing this, right, what we want to do is we want to make this constructor call this constructor, and we can do that with the this keyword. We say this, and then we give it a constructor. We're going to give it our symbol, we're going to give it our value, and we're going to give it 1 as the quantity owned. Calls the other constructor. Don't have repeated code. Don't have repeated code. So this can also be for calling the constructor. Now the rule is it has to be the first thing you do. Right? Has to be the first statement. Then you can still do other things if you want. Right? Call this other constructor, sure, that's fine, but you just need to be careful on what you're doing here. Okay. Let's see, we got enum types. We can do enums in a minute. Garbage collection we can do. Finalize. Yeah, okay. So I think that's actually pretty good for now. I'll save the last little bit here. We got enums and garbage collection. We'll save that for when hopefully we're back live Thursday. Again, sorry for the trouble. I don't exactly know what's going on. It started working and then my camera wasn't on and I tried to stop it and I think I upset somebody at Twitch or Like, why is this on and off so many times? So short video today. Make sure you are working on the project that is coming due. Let's see, where'd that go? Yep, over here. Project 1 is coming due soon. I think that's in the calendar. Yeah, let me go in the home calendar. And then on Thursday, we're also going to talk about the next project already. So these things are going to pile up if you're not getting ahead. So yeah, by 6 p.m. on Thursday, we need project 1 in because I'm going to be going over the solution with the evening class for project 1. So I've got to have it in because I'll be going over the solution with them. For you guys, I'll be going over the solution the following Monday. That'll be on, or the Tuesday, I mean, on the 9th. I'll go over how I might solve it for you guys, and then we'll get into new stuff from there. Okay? All right. Well, if you have any questions, find me on Discord. I've got office hours today, Wednesday, and just a little bit of time on Thursday. If you wait until 5:30 on Thursday for my office hours and you're having trouble on project 1, it's not going to go well for you, right? I just can only talk to so many people at a time. So please get this done before 5:30 p.m. on Thursday, and then you have just a little bit of time. And don't forget, you need to commit it to GitHub, and you need to submit the URL to Desire to Learn so I know to go grade it. Right? Don't just commit and assume I'm going to go find it. Right? I've got 100+ students this semester, and I don't actually know what all your GitHub repos are. I'd have to go look them up. So I'm not going to go poking around. You have to give me the URL in D2L so I can go grade it for you. And then also on Thursday, I'll release the quiz for Chapter 8. So we've got a lot of things coming up, but it's going well. We're in the 4th week of the semester. And, please reach out. Let me know how things are going, especially because I don't see you guys in person. If you don't tell me it's not going well, I have no idea that it's not going well for you. Okay? So let me know what's up, how I can help you learn all this stuff, and we'll have some fun. We'll go from there.